Hello there, don't forget to subscribe to get more videos.
The two armies open fire at the same time. The unbarren centipedes quickly get the upper hand on the Republican tanks, which are overwhelmed by the huge firepower of these monstrous machines. The first line being seriously hammered, the Republican forces engage all their heavy cannons. The Blue Comets soon rain on the Umbaran and Mandalorian lines, causing much havoc. The Sith General launches a full attack. All his warriors and machine charge on the Republican lines. Luke immediately launches the counter-attack in the same way, while the tanks and soldiers clash with the Umbaran machines and Mandalorian warriors. The Jedi engage a fierce combat with the Sith warriors. Rey is in the thick of the battle, fighting like a tiger. After killing some Mandalorians, she confronts a Sith for the first time. Wielding her blue lightsaber with great skill, she blocks all his attacks and bravely holds her ground for quite a long time. Suddenly, seeing an opening, she goes for it and cut off his right arm. She doesn't have the time to finish him because Umbaran soldiers are attacking her, but she quickly slices them. Another Sith soon attacks her. Taken by surprise, she barely manages to block his attack and loses her balance. Fortunately, a Jedi Master comes to her help and holds off the Sith. The Jedi overcomes the Sith and kills him off, thus saving Rey's life. Meanwhile, the two fleets are engaged in a fierce battle. Swarms of fighters are firing at each other, and thousands of lasers blaze through the sky. Suddenly, a black X-Wing comes out of nowhere and takes down 3 Mandalorian fighters at the same time. This is the best pilot of the Republic, Poe Dameron. Leading a squadron through the enemy formation, he destroys many fighters and leads an attack on a cruiser. On the ground, Luke stays in the flagship. He doesn't engage because he wants to observe the enemy's fighting style and doesn't want to reveal himself too soon to the unknown Sith General. At that point, none of the two armies can get the upper hand. The Sith General thus decides to get off his flagship and engages the Jedi. He jumps in the middle of them and kills many knights in the blink of an eye, slicing through their ranks. Stunned, Luke immediately recognizes him. Darth Revan is back. Luke decides to engage to save his Jedi. Jumping off the flagship, he runs through the Sith ranks, killing several Sith warriors with his green lightsaber. Pushing many Sith with the Force to clear his path, he engages a fierce duel with Revan. Fast as lightning, both display great power and skill. Blow after blow, the fight goes on with an insane rhythm for a long time. Revan launches a great force push, sending Luke several meters away, but the Jedi lands on his feet, then lifts a burned tank and throws it on Revan, who can't dodge it. Briefly knocked out, Revan recovers just in time to block Luke's attack, but the Jedi eventually hits him in the shoulder and violently force pushes him back in his flagship. Gathering his might, Luke then lifts the ship and propels it in the ranks of the Sith army, causing many casualties. However, Revan manages to jump out of the ship just before the explosion. Luke's assault has given the momentum to the Republican army. The Jedi Knights get the upper hand on the Sith, who are slowly pushed back. Rey, still fighting with merge energy, jumps inside the broken cockpit of a disabled Umbaran centipede and kills the crew. Revan rallies his troops, sending his Mandalorian fighters to provide air support, to cover the retreat. These fighters caused heavy casualties among the Republican forces and spread much confusion among their ranks. But Luke gathers his might once again and uses the Force to crash the enemy fighters to the ground. In space, the fight goes on under the leadership of Poe Dameron and his squadron, who take down so many enemy fighters. Revan then joins his fleet in transport ships, with all his remaining forces, which are still very numerous. The whole Sith fleet then breaks off the engagement and jumps in hyperspace. Everyone is excited by this first victory, cheering and rejoicing. But Luke doesn't celebrate. He senses that something is wrong. Why did the enemy retreat so quickly? They had still enough strength to continue the battle for a long time. What has Revan in his mind?